And this is Cherry Divine. I say that because the moment we had to switch the show, my mind woke up today as if it's Wednesday morning. So I'm having to rethink all of this. Anyway, good to see you here. Happy you could join us. And Nancy's here with us. How are you today, Nancy?
I'm great. Thank you so much. Welcome to everyone for live on Tuesdays.
Oh, and thank you for posting your questions. And there were several people saying, "Oh, I may be able to make Tuesday. I haven't been able to make Wednesday." So if you're here with us, hello, hello, hello. It's good to see y'all. Well,
and we've got so far that have said hi, Crystal, Barbara, and Shelley. So welcome to all of you, and we'll get talking. I just wanted to say it's interesting that many people are kind of piggybacking on each other. You know, somebody will post a question and somebody else see it and say, oh, you know, I have that question. And so that's kind of fun that we're kind of in this energy together.
Well, you know, one of the things I noticed years ago is when a program's coming up or a conversation, many times there is a theme, and that theme will lead us into information that really is pertaining to many, many, many people. And that's what I saw when I looked at the questions was the theme that was going on. We have such amazing energy on Earth right now, and the changes in awareness, and you know, all of this is catapulting us forward. So the questions that came in today were, wow. You know, yes, I know I'm being technical. Wow.
So I think we're just going to jump into questions this morning because go ahead.
I wanted to share a little information about and I know that a lot of times I'll do it at the end of the show, but I am so excited about the upcoming Empowered Empath workshop that's going to be online, because what people are not necessarily aware of is everyone's empathic or empathetic. It's part of our nature, and it affects us on a daily basis. And when we're not aware of it, it can be very, very confusing. So for me, I'm looking at this going, wow, not only will I be able to assist people in becoming aware of their empathetic nature, but not being held in a place of disempowerment. There's a lot of belief out there that you have psychic vampires, you have energy drainages, you can't do this, you can't do that because it will affect you. And I'm not saying that that does not happen, yet the more that you are aware of your own nature, the less others are able to attach and actually, or you attach to them and you actually continue to believe it's your own. And that's part of the confusion about being an empath, is when you're pulling in somebody's information, or you've attached to somebody or somebody's attached to you, you aren't able to discern what's yours and somebody else's. So for me, I'm just extremely excited, and people are signing up, and I'm just loving it. So thank you. And there is a link on my website, cherrydivine.com, that will take you to the information on the class. And
actually, Cherry, I have gone one step beyond that. And on the Facebook page, there is a sign-up button just under the banner, and there's a little arrow even on the banner that says sign up now, and they can click on that sign-up button, and it will take them directly to the sign-up page on your website.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Nancy. What would I do without this woman? I don't want to find out, so we'll just keep her right here. Anyway, so that was my exuberance for today. Now let's get serious and do questions.
All right. All right. So Kelly started off and she had a question, and she said she's been struggling with understanding for quite some time now. This may be too much for this form, but in summation, how do we reconcile the tangible existence of our reality as we live and experience it with the illusionary focus that suggests all is not as it would seem?
Okay. The first words that steps out for me here is the idea of suggest that all is illusion that isn't as it seems. And the truth of the matter is it isn't necessarily suggested, that is a truth. When we're in the physical world, we're looking at everything as if it's hard and fast, and we're fitting it into. I'm kind of shifting gears a little bit here because they're bringing it in. Is we have human thought and human belief, human training. And so with what we consider tangible, that has been the experiences that have been passed down and brought to us. So we're believing those are the solid for real facts. And, this is where it causes challenges for people because in truth, all of this is an illusion. The same as out there, the suggested is also illusionary. None of it is hard and fast. Yet it throws you off your axis somewhat to believe that what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're doing, and who you are is not a full, real, living experience. We say that in that way, even though you are, of course, a living experience, but it's only one of the millions and bazillions experiences that have been had and are being had. So this is only one experience. And yes, you call it tangible because you are in your role so solidly that you forget that it is only a part of the tapestry of life. It is only a part of the illusion you are creating in your own reality. And so when we step into that, it actually challenges our ego self because our ego self is very attached to this being, hold it, I'm real, I'm here, this is solid, this is the way it is. And there's a feeling of holding on to this brings us security. Yet, once we realize that all life is illusion, every life that we have scripted for ourselves is illusionary. It doesn't mean we're not real. That hit right in the power chakra. It's like, hold it. If this is an illusion, why am I doing it? And why is it, who am I? Where am I? What am I? I'm nothing. Well, you are nothing, but you're everything. So look at it like that and understand this is a scripted role. And so how to blend them together, the tangible, play with it. I say that is because when you see something you hold as solid fact, start challenging that somewhat in your mind and address what it is and then see a change in it. He's starting out with a small change and just sending that out in thought form, in belief, and then watch the subtle change. And you will watch your tangible reality change into an illusion and become a different tangible reality. Does that make sense? This is this particular conversation can take us so many places, but this is what can be given at this time and in this format.
This is a conversation I think that can continue. This is a big conversation, and how how I personally see this is that I'm playing a role in a play. Mm-hmm. And I'm directing my personal own play, and everyone else has, they're playing their roles in their plays, and there's bazillions of plays going on because we're all creators of the divine or the source or the all or whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of, to me, that's my role, is to create experiences to add to the summation of experiences of the totality of all that is. So.
True. And in The Adventures of the Reluctant Messiah by Richard Bach, Don Shimoda takes Richard into the movie, and this is way back in the 70s, guys. This book was written, and they're watching Sundance Kid, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and Richard's getting all engrossed in this play, and is coming to the end of this movie, and Don has him come out, and he's all upset that he's leaving the movie, and he's not being able to see the end. And Don's showing him, that's life. That's what you do. And you are creating it. And then we talk about parallel lives. What are you creating somewhere else that you believe is absolutely there, hard, solid, fact, tangible? And so it can be somewhat mind-boggling for us in the physical, yet it's also very freeing. One of the things that they're reminding me to tell people is, every life you choose is absolutely important to the whole. That there's no life without value, no experience that is having that is not serving, and it is all interacting and intersecting with all life. So that's something to understand there. And I always know when they take over, because I'll go, or when it comes to an end, because do you understand that, or that's something to understand? It's the words almost for me are a signal. Okay, we've said what we have to say. Now let's move on. So,
I want to just add to that, because I know people are still, well, if I'm creating this, why is there the horrible things in the world, and why do we have the hurricanes and disease and people dying and babies, all these things that are happening?
It's important, again, to remember each and everything serves a purpose, and that we're here experiencing. We're here in a physical world. This is the place you can, actually experience every end of the spectrum. We have infinite lives. And so we would not choose lives that were always just fabulously fun and glorious and happy each time we came to a physical world. It would be boring. It would be, the word boring comes in for me, but it also would not serve to be able to experience. And then there again, Nancy, like you said, this is an unending conversation here in so many ways, because they're also showing the idea of soul evolvement, not just ours, but the souls of others. Even though we're all from the same source, we moved and shifted into realities at separate times, and we have movement through souls. And so people will look at it as younger or older. That's the way we can actually describe it in a physical world. And so this soul may be needing this experience to evolve to the next step. And so another soul says, okay, I will assist you with this, and I will hold this role, and it will seem very tragic. And then, and so it will go on and on and on. But what's even more fun, and this is where, I love bringing this to people's awareness, is many people, when they think about infinite lives, they always focus on planet Earth. And do you know how many times it's like, oh, I want to be done with this, and I'm not going to come back here. And these are the voices I use, and it is never derogatory or directed at anybody in fun. It's just whatever character voice I have, and many times I use them for myself. Anyway, and it's looking at people and saying, hold it. With infinite lives, do you believe you would always choose to come to planet Earth and be a human being over and over and over and over? No, there's so many realities. And so once we're able to shift that thought and think about it, we actually access aspects of ourselves that are in realities that are far beyond planet Earth, and be able to bring that in here. Sharing realities. So,
And again, I just want to go back to my movie analogy. A lot of people like going to different kinds of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Some people even like to see violent movies. Some people like to see movies where people die. There's all different kinds
Mm-hmm.
of movies out there, and we have all different kinds of lives. And a lot of times the problems that we perceive as problems are opportunities for someone else to create an incredible discovery or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
we can't
Well,
see the purpose for everything.
Well, there's a grand scheme, a grand plan, and we don't have the blueprint for that in this particular reality. And so and this is where trust and belief comes in also. So.
All right. So we can get off on this one for a long time, both of
We
us.
can. It's like, oh my goodness, I love these questions today.
Kat is one who also has similar question around this concept, more focused around the external reality versus the internal, and how come sometimes the external reality circumstances are so dense or heavy that I just feel like hibernating and disconnecting from people.
Well, this one's interesting because as I read it, I received one bit of information, and as you just read it, I received something else. We contain density. We contain our shadow selves within those places that we're not wanting to touch. We're not wanting to look at. And so we shy away from that. So when we're looking out into the physical world and we're feeling this very heavy, dense, and this is where it comes into play with the way Kat put it, the outer world being what we have in our inner world in many respects. And so this is looking at, wow, this is coming in, it's too heavy, it's too dense, it feels so uncomfortable. Whoa. Where does that live inside of me? What aspect of me have I been ignoring, choosing not to look at, shutting a door on? Where is it I feel heavy and dense? And the word irregular comes up. And allow yourself to look at it that as a outer perception of an inner reality. See, realities continue. Inner, outer. And so it's allowing yourself to address those parts and places within you that you do not feel comfortable with. Now, that is only one part of the answer that is here for this particular type of question, because there is another question following by from Kat into another woman's question that also is a part in this type of experience. Would you like to go into that next question?
Yes. Kathy asked, I feel like isolating a lot, which is different for me, and my head feels heavy and energy feels dense.
And so here again, this is part of our, what we call the ascension process. Many people who listen to the show know that I experienced this amazing, instantaneous shift in awareness in which I connected to my ancient energy. After that, and I mean, it happened in a blink of an eye, and nothing that I had ever expected in a physical reality, in the one I knew at that time. I spent a year just disconnected from this feeling of what we call planet Earth and everyday life. It was all too heavy. I only participated in what I had to participate in. Other than that, I stayed away. And that is part of what occurs when we're moving up into our light body and bringing more of our essence in, is the physical reality is heavy. It is dense. It feels uncomfortable to the energy body. But it's also where we are able to go into those hibernation periods, into that feeling of, and become even more aware of the physical reality that exists outside of us. We begin picking up on the very subtle expressions of life. And we feel the waves of energy, not in just this life, of many lifetimes that are on this planet or have been on this planet. And so this is not a bad thing, this pulling inside. Your light body is enhanced. Your essence is fuller in this physical vessel. And you're adjusting, you're acclimating to this. And so, like I said, so this was a kind of a two-part question of what people do experience and why it feels heavy and dense outside of us at times. When I move into working at a very high level, one of the most challenging things for me is feeling those that are very attached to this physical world. The energy feels irritating, aggravating. And it is not saying their energy is bad, because it isn't. It's the frequencies are different and they don't resonate. Now, another thing that you will find as you move up into more of your light and this is there's people that you will have been around day to day to day to day from birth or with 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden you're around them and you just want to run away. And they do too. They want to run away from you too. And you find all of a sudden you might be coming together like this and go, Choo. And all that is the frequencies do not mesh. I loved my mother dearly and she loved me, but she vibrated at a very low frequency. My frequency moved up, and it was a challenge for us to spend time together. We did it, and we loved each other and enjoyed it. But boy, oh boy, I know there were times she'd come around me and she just wanted to zoom off. Well, but that's part of the shift in this. And it doesn't stay that way. Remember, as all of us are in movement, or as you are in movement, others are in movement also. Some will not choose to raise vibrationally. And that's okay. That's their experience in this lifetime. So that's part of it, is your energy field has changed. Your light is increased in your physical body, and see how fun that is. There's more movement. You will find, though, that it at times may feel as if it gets stuck in the physical body. And so movement is really good for that. Mm-hmm.
So that was a long answer to get moving.
That's right. A very long answer to get moving and have fun with it. And this is it. And I say this over and over and over again to people, reminding them, and I know you've heard it in the shows before, let it be fun. People put it into, this is hard work. When you do that, you go straight into the ego mind and it becomes hard work. And you just don't, and somebody's throat chakra shut right down with that one. It's like, and so it's remembering, do it in laughter, do it in joy, do it in love, and you move so much quicker. And your vibrational body just is brilliant. It just shines and glows and moves out.
So this dense feeling is not something to be scared about. It's not something to worry about. It's something to move and laugh and feel some joy, because you're actually in transitioning.
Yes, you're acclimating to the shifted in your own energy body. But also ask yourself questions. Journal. Put down, why do I feel this? And then just write out different things. And don't judge them. Just let them flow. It'll give you things to look at. This is your life, your reality. What is it you want to bring to it? And so when you're in that void, a friend of mine, astrologer, told me I was in my monk in the cave stage when I went inside, and that's where we come to understand ourselves even more. That's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. So on a different note, Christine wanted to know if Mike will become her life partner.
Christine, this is one of the things is somehow Mike is a focus for you outside of you, because you have a lot going on inside of you. And there's a part of you very nervous. I don't want to use the word afraid, but nervous about checking those pieces and parts inside of you. it isn't so much, and remember, there is nothing written in stone ever, because you have free will, Mike has free will. At this time, it doesn't show him as, the life partner for the next 50 years or whatever. It shows him as a person that is assisting you in many of your life changes right now. There's this softness about him that you can lean your head on his shoulder and just not worry. Yet it'd be really perfect if you would change the focus away from outside of you to inside of you. And I would love to remind you to use grounding stones. Obsidian is extremely good for you. Black tourmaline is extremely good for you. Kyanite isn't a grounding stone, but it is one that will negate negativity. And so that is another, and it actually charges other stones. And so those are good. So bring your focus to you. And yes, your world is all about you. And as you shut doors to your personality, and it says move in what you've been told life is supposed to be, you're not tapping into all of you. And it's a good thing to tap into you. And again, Mike has free will, you have free will. You too can choose to focus on an everlasting relationship and be together the next 50 years. Use your free will if that's what you really choose. But, oh gosh, see that little face? I want you to go inside and ask how Mike is really serving you and see what the answer comes up. And again, I'm going to tell you to write it down and write all of your thoughts about this. It's going to bring you to a point of understanding where you are in your life right now.
And Cherry, I'm assuming that for many of our questioners, even those that haven't asked today, but Crystal just posted a question, and I'm sorry we're not going to be able to get to it. But the answer is probably, am I on my own path? Am I on my spiritual path? Is there a lesson I need to learn? The journaling and the going within.
Mm-hmm. It matters not what you're doing right now. You are on your path. You don't set out just one way to get to where you wanted to go in this lifetime. You have little side roads and trails, but they're all bringing you right back to that main path. Let go of the concern, am I on the right path? Instead of put it in, I am on my path. Claim it. Let it be yours. Let yourself honor the life you have chosen. There is not a need to, a have to, a must do to get where you are going. It is a desire to be in this life. What is it you are choosing? Sit with the self. Ask what is important to you. What is it that is your heart's desire, the longing within you? And then focus on that for a while. Hold that in front of you and ask how to move to where that is, which is right there in front of you and with you. How is the simplest way? And again, we will say, take it from the mind and go into the heart center and hold it there. And yes, we have talked to this many, many times, and everyone says, how do you do this? Imagine this beautiful sphere of light living inside of you, the essence of all life of you, your heart center, and take whatever it is and just place it there. In your mind, see it be there, whether it be an experience or expression, an image or words. Just place it there and then follow what comes to you. You are on your path. And what is your desires are yours to have. It does not look any one way. How do you know that you're moving in a way that is more true to you? life becomes easier. Life becomes happier. You become more open, more loving, more giving, more accepting, more compassionate. The positives in life. It does not mean you will not have your struggles, for of course you will have your struggles. These challenges are part of your own choosing, your own desire. They do not have to take great periods of time in your life, yet they may catapult you forward in ways that are quite spectacular. So
I told her we didn't have time, and there we have the question. So, and Barbara had a similar question about a lesson she needed to learn, and I think that's a similar question, isn't it?
It is. It's a very similar question. And Barbara, honey, step away from the head. All of these thoughts, or if you're going to stay in your head, here's something to ask yourself. Why do you believe that there is a certain way you have to do something, or something you must do or should do? Right there, all of those words are telling you that is early training from this particular life. And then put it out there. This is what I desire and choose to do. And allow yourself to create. There is nothing you need to, must do, have to. What works for one person doesn't work for another. There will be those that sit hours in meditation, and that is perfect for them. And then there are those that stand next to a tree, and that is perfect for them. And then there's those who to work with the fairy world or the angelic realm, and it's all perfect. And then there are those who bring in the communications from the consciousness of the all, and that is their choice. Let it be what feels perfect for you. Let the worry go out of your mind. Do not gauge your movement by someone else's. You are not the same. It is your life. Let it be more fun. I know they use fun a lot, and part of what it is we've had training forever, or what feels like forever. I'm a kid, exaggerating. That says it all has to be hard work. Wow.
And what serious. This is serious stuff.
It would, but what if we ask ourselves, does it really have to be hard work, and why? Why? Again, the human thought process says it must be hard. And all we're saying there is you stand in your own way. Let it be a joyous expression of life. Have you taken a walk today and looked at all of the life around you and felt it and enjoyed it? Do you not think that would move you more than any hard task you placed in front of you? We believe it would assist you more. There we go.
And I've got one more. I hear Flint starting to bark, so let's... Elizabeth senses the...
I locked my grandson out. Can you guys wait about 2 minutes while I go unlock a door? Hold on, people. The human experience.
Wow. While we're waiting, how fun is this? I guess I could talk. But I don't have anything to say. Except it doesn't have to be hard for any of us. But we're so good at making it hard. Well, that was fast.
Apparently he put the key under the porch. Whoops, I shouldn't tell people that. That key isn't always there. I'm not going to tell you where I live, or what porch, or if he'll ever be there again. Oh, sorry, folks. See, this is part of it. Now, this could have been, and this is something that I pay attention to anytime I'm doing what I call work. And anything and everything that happens serves to bring a message. Not how to get into my house. But we were talking about being on a path and doing it the fun way and all of this and letting it be joy. And then all of a sudden I have this big disruption and I'm trying to get out, the thing's falling over and dogs are going off. Okay, that is just a reminder of how we get distracted on our path and how it can feel as if it's very upsetting or doesn't look good or doesn't seem right, instead of saying, oh, look at this. I was walking my path quite easily and happily. And then old training brought in this distraction that looked so irregular and disruptive that I must be doing something wrong. I probably should judge myself or feel as if I'm not as spiritual as everybody else. Or maybe I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. Instead of saying, let me bring this back. I've only placed a distraction due to my belief system. And I now decide and choose, and I am walking it much more easily. I do not judge who I am. I do not judge outside of myself. I understand my path is mine, and I do it in the way that's right for me. See? That could have been one of those, oh my gosh, I really messed up. Or just be able to see it's part of our distractions. Nance, does my hair still look okay?
It's okay. The last question I was starting on is Elizabeth senses that there's a spiritual economic shift near. She's 78 years old. Will I live long enough to experience the fifth dimensional new earth, one of peace and love?
Oh, this fits into our earlier conversation. Honey, this is your reality. Create that in your reality now. Let it be what you experience. Send that message out into the world. And, don't get locked into, we only live in one dimension or experience, a certain amount of dimensions in this particular physical expression of life. We do have this amazing shift in life here on earth. And the time of harmony is upon us. And all of the old is breaking down, the old paradigm. And the light is infusing on earth. Feel this, Elizabeth. Feel how this warms your soul. And yes, humankind is moving away from this idea that life is only about the money and the objects, what you own and what you do. They're moving back to the expression of love and life they are. So yes, dearest one, you will and do experience this. Let it be with you now in this one moment. It does not have to be at arm's length, for every reality has possibility and potential in the now. Our realities aren't solid. We may look at them and look at how we express in life, what our beliefs are. And as we love the self-divine, that love goes out to all life and supports the movements of change. We've seen a lot of disasters and catastrophes and corruption. Let's send light into all of that now. Let's bless it and watch the vibrations shift and change. Okay, I have got to ground out because my computer is going wacky on me. And I love what I do, and I love, I'm not even wanting to bring,
but computers are getting expensive.
Yes, they are. And the frequency, because we're in a physical dance world, interferes with, because this vibration's like right up here. way up there, and it's moving down. Well, it interferes with the electrical frequencies, and everybody, I'm going to ask for your assistance. Send the belief out to assist mind that my computer stabilize no matter what frequency I'm bringing in, and I do not have to fix or replace another one. And so they're talking, and Nancy, who'd been clear as a bell as I'm working, all of a sudden going in and out, the screen's going all blurry, and it's like seeing these waves. So it's kind of, if we think about it, think of televisions, and there's some people that will not understand this, they're way too young, is back in the days we had antennas, and we had to turn them and shift them, and so only this comes in, and at times it's like like a lightning bolt hitting it, and it just affects the components of the computer. Wow. Heck of a show.
And I'm going to throw this in, even though we're way over. We've been going overtime because this is so much fun. But Jules just wanted to add, she added a question, how can she help more people with her work? And I think it's something that we just talked about the energy that one sends out.
You see, this is it. It is. It's about, it is about our energy. It is about our thoughts. It is knowing that, okay, we've been sitting here and focusing on love and on that energy. That energy automatically emanates from us, and it goes out and it touches around the world. It touches all of life, and it has the ability to trigger awareness in others, to uplift them. There will be those who resist and reject, but others that will just bring it in, and it will transform their life. It isn't so much about what we do. It's how we are. You may sit on a mountaintop and just hold the love in your heart and send it out. Let it swell up inside of you and let it move from you. And you touch all of life. So, how is it you want to touch people, Jules? What is it you want to do with them? Where is your heart's desire? You speak on a global level. What message do you want to bring in? You're still fine-tuning inside of yourself. So remember, you have your own journey, your own movement. And, many of us are feeling this huge change in our lives. And directions we thought we were going fell away. And new directions are coming in. And today must be all about writing, because I could get your journal out, write down what you choose to do, not what you want to do. What do you choose to do? Let's empower. And then take the physical steps to do exactly what you choose to do. I could go on and on and on. I could. There's more thoughts coming and coming and coming, but I really don't think we want a 24-hour show. No, I don't think so. Because all of a sudden they're showing us, okay, guys, here, you want to do something? Flooding just happened in the Carolinas, and that's where I'm going tomorrow, by the way. Not to the flooding, but to North Carolina. Okay, see the water receding. See it evaporated away. See homes dry and whole. See people working together, restoring their towns. See perfection. Hold that in your mind. Do you think that does not create? China was hit by a horrible storm. See the waters receding. See all clear and bright and clean. See life restored. Feel the tingles that are occurring within you at this moment. That is your own energy knowing the truth of these statements. See what you desire to be there. Miss Kelly talked the other day to us, about a situation she is in. See what it is you desire. See the aquatic life restored and the beaches clear. Do not hold on to the disruptions, the chaos, for all you are doing is attracting in exactly what's here. See what you choose and desire to experience. Will all clamor for that? Of course not. Yet it will move mountains if you let it. So, touch the world in the way that's perfect for you and let it come from your heart.
And to help people on their path, if they feel so inclined, we have this class, this workshop coming up, October 2nd. It'll be 5 Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, for an hour and a half. And it is the Empowered Empath. And again, people can click the button to sign up right there on your Facebook page.
You know, there are those of you that are very aware of your empathic nature, yet you have some beliefs that keep you out of your power. And then there are those of you that don't understand it at all and don't even believe you have it. Everybody is empathetic. And, you know, one of the ways I tell people this is prior to language, we communicated through our energy bodies, and that's what empathy is about. That's only one of the ways we communicated. So, well, kiddos, you know what just dawned on me is when I stood up, y'all saw I was in my pajama bottoms. Okay, so I only dress from the waist up. Just call me a news anchor. Okay, kiddos, y'all have a great week. It's time for me to finish packing and get on my travels.
And put some pants on.
Yeah, I might put pants on for that. Have a happy week. I love all of you so very much.
Great.
So very much.
Thanks so much for joining us. All right.
Yes. And thank you, Nancy.